Order your copy of The Consultant Next Door today with the link below.
You're listening to the Traffic and Funnels Show.
What's going on, folks? This is Alan, producer of the TNF Show. In this episode of the TF Show, Taylor chats with Brandon Duff of the Money Friends podcast. They discuss The Consultant Next Door, generating income and building wealth. If you haven't purchased The Consultant Next Door yet, now is the time. The book is officially out, and your chance to acquire the additional 30-plus hours of training and a chance at a Client Kit scholarship goes away on Sunday, December 6th. Get this book now for just 99 cents by visiting trafficandfunnels.com/CND. And as always, don't forget to join our podcast subscriber community by visiting trafficandfunnels.com/subscribe to get a free gift from us and also to get access to special deals on our next level paid products. All right, let's get to the show.
So I know you have this amazing book coming out called The Consultant Next Door. I've already pre-ordered it. I know you get all these bonuses if you sign up through Amazon. I've already shared it on my profile, my LinkedIn, everything. So you guys definitely want to take advantage of that. So Taylor, I know you have some top level strategies you're going to share with us today and kind of help people level up their game online.
I would love to. Yeah, I think I've done this presentation called Income, Assets, and Time. I've since changed it to Levels of Wealth. If you have met us in person or if you've seen us in person, one of the things we always talk about is how many of you know somebody who works really, really hard, and they're not lazy. They're not lazy as a human being, but they aren't exactly where they want to be in life. And everybody without a doubt raises their hand.
Right.
And that's how you get the honest answer. Because if you ask the audience, are you a really hard worker, but you're not where you want to be, then you're going to get half of the room to raise their hand. But if you flip it, do you know someone? Then everybody's honest. And it really proves the thought that working hard is not necessarily, Gary Vaynerchuk's style of grind it out, although I respect for what he's done, it's not necessarily, it doesn't have the utility that people think it does. You've got to learn the rules. I always tell people that the 3 levels of wealth come down to what you do, okay? Doing it the right way, and then what you own because of what you do. And so if you want to go through my life, 2007, 2008, 2009, I was poor because I was doing the wrong things. And that's where a lot of people stay stuck. They're just doing the wrong things. They don't know what the right things are to do. Forget doing the right thing the right way. They don't even know what the right thing is to do. Let me tell you that most of those people are hardworking individuals. But if you are the fastest runner in the world and the gun goes off and the race starts and you start running the opposite direction, who's going to win that race?
Not you.
All right. Not you. It doesn't matter. You're doing the wrong things. Number 2 is how do you get rich? You do the right things and you do them consistently. So this was me 2013, 2014, when I started coming up, and I don't know how long you followed us, but probably around 2015, I started getting to the place where we were making some significant income. We were getting richer, but we weren't getting wealthy. The third thing is owning the right assets. So first you got to learn how to do the right things. You got to do the right things the right way, and then you've got to use that money correctly. Does it make sense?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's what I'm all about, is taking my money and reinvesting into income producing assets. So
yeah, 100%. Which a lot of people don't ever get to, believe it or not. This is why I think we have a passion for the wealth industry, which you were telling me before. You have a rental portfolio, which is amazing, because a lot of people will get trapped in making a lot of money, but they don't understand what to do with the money. They don't have the language to understand how to master passive income and appreciating assets and all of those things. We bought about 32, 33 houses last month and are scaling that team just as fast as we can. But there's all this cash flow coming in from the other businesses. And I'm like, man, cash is unproductive. Get rid of it, as fast as you can.
Cash is trash. I mean, you have to reinvest that money because it just, with inflation and everything, it just decreases in value. So you constantly need your money working. And I watched a lot of your webinars based on wealth and reinvesting and how you're actually, I think I'm on one of your subscribers list about when you either flip a property or release it and sell it. So I get all those updates. So I'm excited to see what you guys have been doing with everything.
Yeah, cool. So Traffic and Funnels is the kind of the marketing consultancy side of the business. Me and Chris started that business in 2015, September 9th, September 8th, somewhere around there of 2015. We took our very first client and we charged $3,000 to build a funnel for them. It's crazy. which looking back is like, it wasn't that bad. It was a decent price. But compared to now, it's crazy how far that business has come. Sales Mentor is the sales consultancy side of the business. And then we have a couple other businesses scattered throughout that are, bookkeeping or wholesaling. But all of these businesses have one thing in common, in that the main priority of those businesses is a fountain. It's cash production.
Right.
It's to be able to set yourself up so that you have income. This is interesting when you get into studying the big titans of industry, the big companies, is not all businesses are necessarily created with the same outcome in mind. I'll give you an example of this. We're trying to buy a roofing company in Charlotte right now. And would you be shocked for me to tell you that the profitability of a roofing company is not as high as the profitability of a sales consultancy online?
No, I would not be shocked.
You'd be like, duh. Obviously. Well, it's because the point of that business is not necessarily to create cash.
Right.
It's to reduce expenses.
Right.
And a penny saved is a penny earned. So the reason I'm kind of going at it this way, and let's just take everything a couple levels down and say, like, you don't have to have 9 businesses or 4 businesses. You can have 1 business, but knowing what the outcome of the business is and where you are in sequence is important. The first thing to get locked in is your ability to generate income. That's it. You've got to lock in your ability to generate income. It doesn't matter if you study Warren Buffett and Ray Dalio and Carl Icahn and the greats. It doesn't matter, because if you don't have anything to play with, you're going to just be stuck with the information, but no implementation. Right. So our ability to generate surplus comes from our ability to solve problems inside of these markets. So what's the problem with traffic and funnels? It's that people need more clients. They're great at what they do. They're great at their skill set, but they're like, look, we don't have enough clients. What's the problem with Sales Mentor? Businesses need salespeople. They're like, well, I don't want to train a bunch of salespeople. What's the main value proposition for the bookkeeping business? People want to start bookkeeping businesses. So it's the transference of that information to solve the problem. Inside of our sales teams, we call this problem value. Problem value. This is a framework. So the first thing we do when we get on the phone with someone is, hey, Brandon, this is Taylor. I work for Traffic and Funnels. Do you have 2 seconds? Yeah, I've got 2 seconds. Great. I've got some good stuff we're giving away right now for free. What's the main problem in your business?
Clients.
Getting clients?
Yeah.
Cool. What specifically about getting clients? And you start going down this rabbit hole of problem. If you try to sell a product, but you don't have a clear understanding of what the problem is for the person buying, you'll never be successful at it, because people ultimately are going to be much more reluctant to buy if they're not solving an issue, right? So problem value. How do you create more income? You solve a better problem, you charge more money for the problem you're solving, or you solve that same problem for more people. Make sense?
Yep.
If you stop here, you get internet marketers. Like if you just stop at this level, you get the internet marketing industry. And they're taking pictures in front of yachts and stuff and jets, and they borrowed it all. And then you get the people with this become washed up because they can't work anymore. They didn't do the right thing. I'll never forget, we signed on to a very expensive mentor. And it's the most money we've ever spent on mentorship or education ever. And we built a relationship with this person. And one day, Chris, my business partner, was like, what's your number one regret? Which, by the way, is a really, really good question. And if you want to utilize the mentors and the leaders around you, you've got to take the responsibility of extracting what they've been through, because most people have way more under the surface. You just got to mine for it. And this person said, my biggest regret is that I didn't learn how to use the money I was making in the 80s and the 90s. Millions and millions and millions of dollars. This is a guy who would wake up and he would carry $30 million cash balances at all times. And he just didn't learn what to do with it. And so here he is, brilliant, by the way, in old age, still having to work and still kind of just going through the process of earning money. So when you figure out how to make money, you have to learn what to do with that money. And that's the second step, is swapping that currency. You know what a currency is, right?
Of course.
Like, I love watching how macroeconomics plays in with politics and how different currencies play on each other. You look at how the US dollar stacks up to the Chinese yuan and what's going on in the world today. But cash is one currency. It doesn't matter if it's USD or euro or whatever. It's a type of currency. And what we learned to do is we learned to take that money and swap that currency into a different type of asset.
Hey folks, we'll get back to the show in just a moment. We wanted to give you a quick opportunity to learn about some fabulous ways to get additional value from the TNF show. Hang tight, we'll be right back.
I want to give you something that has made me millions and millions of dollars. In fact, I'm releasing a new book here in the next few weeks, and I'm about to give you the opportunity to pre-order it for just 99 cents. But for the opportunity, I want to make a deal with you. Nothing is more insulting to me than this knowledge-hungry culture that consumes, but never implements. So I want you to make a deal with me before we go any further that not only will you pre-order the book, but you'll read it and implement it and share with us how it works for you in your own business, in your own life. And as a gift, I'm willing to trade you for over 30 hours of private information, private material we've taken our clients through. These are things that have thousands and thousands of case studies behind them. You can do that by pre-ordering. You can get the bundle if you pre-order that includes over 30 hours of material that we've really never shared outside of our private client groups. And you have until December 6th to do this. The book is 99 cents if you pre-order it. It's a steal of a deal. Millions and millions and millions and millions, at this point, probably over $100 million tracked back to this material. I'm not allowed to promise anything, but I can promise you will enjoy this if you implement it. And I want to give you everything you need to make sure that this is a viable investment of your time and your money.
Pre-order your copy of The Consultant Next Door now by visiting trafficandfunnels.com/CND. That's trafficandfunnels.com/CND.
Have you ever heard me talk about the term cash equivalents? We just did this with the sales team this morning, and I won't do it here because it would probably be awkward, but I wanted them to, I was like, how much money do you think I made last month?
Oh, I saw that post actually, yeah.
Yeah, some mindset issues. We'll do this all the time, and we'll just get into people's where do they think we are? Because that's data for me. If somebody thinks I make $1 million a month,
no, I think I'm like 50 million, right?
Cool. Not a month, but roundabouts per year. Yeah.
Right.
But so that was the first question. The second question was, how much money do you think I have actual cash in an account? And it's like $20,000. And they're like, what are you doing?
Right.
It's nothing, which $20,000 to 50 million would be like having $7.40 to the average income. And it's because I've learned to take my cash and put it into a more productive format and keep cash equivalents. So cash equivalents are lines of credit, credit cards, different things. If I needed it, I had the money. If you needed it, you had the money, but it's not sitting there burning a hole in your account. Right. And what we'll do is we'll take money every month, we'll move and we'll transfer that currency into an asset, and then we'll backfill the cash with the cash equivalent. Make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. That way, we're never at risk. We're never going to be in a position where we needed it but didn't have it. But we're also not risking the flip side, which is, man, I've got $3 million. It's not making me anything. It's not appreciating. And therefore, a non-appreciating asset is a depreciating asset because of inflation and all of those good things. So we do that. And then the third piece is just the compound effect of time. And what can you do when you have compound decentralization, constantly replacing yourself with leaders? People want to know, how many hours a week I work, and it's probably a good 40 hours, but 40 hours on a 6-business portfolio that will, without a shadow of a doubt, do $100 million in top line next year. You got to look at this ratio of a lot of people are working 40 hours a week right now for $100,000 a year, or 40 hours a week right now for $600,000 a year. And they get trapped in this mindset of the only way I can double my income is to double the amount of hours I work. And what that causes is they just get stuck.
Right. Or burns out.
Or they burn out 100%. So there's a science called leverage, and it's something you can actually study, and it really is detailed pretty nicely in this book of how do you get your offer, how do you get your offer economics, how do you get the infrastructure for what you deliver to clients removed from you. If you have 10 clients and you're busy, how do you have 100 clients and be not busy? And how to fix all of those things. And then same with the people on the front end of I've got a great expertise, I work a job, but how do I get my first 3 clients? I don't really know how to do that. And we dive into that on the front end of the book. And then we go into, even in the back end, how to think about credit, how to think about credit utilization, how to think about, turning time into an asset for you so that, if I fell asleep right now and I was asleep for 25 years and I wasn't able to do anything, I would wake up probably with 8 to 9 times more wealth than what I have right now. Because time is a tool for me. Right. It's not something I'm working against. And so we go into all of this stuff inside of, it's about 200 pages on how to start, grow, build, and successfully exit in terms of flipping the income you have. Not exit as term like selling, but how to exit the rat race in terms of flipping the income from a profitable business into appreciating assets and then living in that legacy pocket long term.
Thanks for listening. For more from Chris and Taylor, visit trafficandfunnels.com and get a free gift just for being a subscriber. That's trafficandfunnels.com.
Order your copy of The Consultant Next Door today with the link below.